What's up YouTube? This is Rambo, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Cod Championships. Most of you know, if you don't know by now, you're kind of living under a rock, but no, I'm just kidding. But most of you know that last weekend, actually I just came back about a day and a half ago from the Cod Championships, which my team ended up placing second. Very close final against Farico, but pretty much I want to talk to you guys about the weekend, how it happened, for all of you that weren't actually there. Explain to you what happened, how things went down and such, and it was a really interesting weekend to say the least. I just want to start off by thanking Treyarch, Activision, and all the people involved, David, Jay, all the main people like Michelle, and like there's like so many names I can't even stop to thank of all the people that were involved in making this happen for us players, and it's crazy to see how much we've grown throughout the years, and now we actually have the support of those people that's going to help us make us get to the next level, which is I can't thank them enough. So shout out to you guys. So to start it off, I got there on Thursday night, Thursday afternoon. Sorry, we had a bus. Pretty much there was a lot of players getting in at the same time, which was really well organized. We had a shuttle that led us to the hotel. The hotel was about like almost 30 minutes away from the airport, so that would have been a pretty expensive cab ride, to say the least. So we got to the hotel. It was the Crown Plaza in Beverly Hills, which is pretty awesome, by the way. The hotel was nice. Got to see everyone. We had that Thursday night we had a player meeting, which every single team ended up being there except a few players that weren't there yet, including Proofy that got there at 12 that night. But yeah, it was interesting. We saw the trophy in the rings for the first time, which is where I decided I wanted to win that tournament. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to win obviously, but the ring and the trophy were like super nice, and I love those type of things. I've always been a player. I was a bowler before, and trophy and rings is something we got the most. So I really love those kind of objects, I guess you can say. And coming so close to winning obviously is a bit hard to take, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. So to come back on track. They explained us. They told us a few things that night. Pretty much, they went over the rules and such, the rules of conduct, and told us a bit how the weekend was going to go, which was really cool. That's when we found out when we first started playing, and we found out our pools. Our pool consisted of us, Killerfish, which is the German team, TVA, which is the team that qualified through league play, and the American team, and then a Mexican team called Team Rising. So at that point, we felt pretty confident about our pool, about taking over a pool, being able to win it, which meant a lot. For those of you who didn't know, your placing in the pool, whether obviously first place, second place, and then third and fourth. If you didn't get first or second, you didn't move on to the tournament. But getting first or second was a huge deal. So the way our matches started on Saturday, to move on Saturday we started playing. Our first match was against Team Rising. So it pretty much went the higher seed of the pool, played the lower seed of the pool, and we ended up getting the higher seed. Killerfish ended up getting the second seed, TVA third seed, and then the Mexican team, Team Rising, got the fourth seed. So we played Team Rising first. We pretty much ran over them. We destroyed them, like I believe 250 to 40, and then 6-1 in the first game against Team Rising. Was we were confident. We played really well against them. So nothing against them. They definitely knew what they were doing. They weren't like a team that used like random stuff. Like they pretty much all use MSMCs and M8s. They just played. They just didn't seem to be on the same level. It's probably really hard for those teams to be on the same level of competition for any team that isn't like in Europe based or North American based, because they don't get to scrim these kind of teams all day long. So their pool of teams to play that are probably on the same level as they are is very low. So. But still, they were I'm really glad that we played them, and they were great people. They were great guys. I got to talk to them a little bit, and it was really awesome. So, moving on, we played TVA in our second match. We ended up almost losing our first map against them. It was Slum's Hardpoint, which we ended up having a lot of troubles with in the pool play stages. We didn't control any hard points or any rotations. That was like, I don't know what was going on, but we weren't anchoring anything. So we ended up going to like the last. We were down by like 50 going into the garage hill, and we ended up controlling all 60 seconds of that, which ended up winning us the game because we got short score streaks off of it. So it was a really close game with TVA on that. Then we ended up losing the Search and Destroy Cargo 6-5. That was the first time we played as a team since Proofy wasn't there the week before. So that was a really close game as well. And then we ended up winning the capture the flag pretty convincingly from what I remember. It was like 3-1, I think, or something like that. I don't know. We ended up starting like 2-0, and then they got score streaks some way. It was like they almost mounted a comeback, but we ended up taking that. And then we played Killerfish in our last game in the pool. This decided Killerfish was 2-0 at that point, so were we. So this decided first and second place. Now the reason why this was such a big match was because the first place teams played second place teams in their first game. So that pretty much determined if we were going to play a really, really good team in the pool in the first match of the playoff bracket, or we were going to play a team that wasn't necessarily the best team in their pool, obviously. So it came down to we lost hardpoint against them. It was slums again, and we had lost by like 20. Once again, we didn't control any transitions. They got like first dibs on every hill pretty much, except 2 if I remember correctly. So we ended up losing that. And then we came back in Search, and Express Search, we won 6-5, a really close battle again, and that was huge for us. We destroyed them in CTF. Our CTF game was like on point until we played Farico all weekend. So really dibs out to Killerfish for putting up a run. And also I believe they ended up getting like top 12, I think. They got 9 through 12. So definitely not a bad team for sure. Definitely a team that should go to EGL events and definitely has a good chance at playing well at those. So after that, we made it through our pool. We were 3-0, so we ended up watching some of the games the rest of the night, just chilling out. We went back to the room, went over the S&E maps that we weren't sure about what we were trying to do in. Then we had to wake up early on Saturday. Saturday was the longest day out of all the days. We started off against, they ended up announcing the pools later on Friday night. We ended up hearing about our pool. We obviously were happy about our pool at that point. We didn't have all the Juggernaut teams pretty much in our pool. The two noticeable teams that we had in our pool were VVV and Fear, which we didn't have to play until the winter semis. So we had to play the Stand first. The Stand was a team that beat Curse to make out of their pool. The Stand was a Puerto Rican team, definitely good players. It was really, I didn't get to see the match against Curse, but I heard like it was a really close game, and this Allen guy went huge. So we didn't have to overlook them at any means. So we went off and we went really hard against them and 3-0'd them. In the second round, who did we play in the second round? I got a blank. Oh, we played Donut Shop. So yeah, Donut Shop. We played. That's the team we beat to qualify for this event in the first place. So Donut Shop was definitely a team that we didn't overlook. They actually beat Epsilon. They won their pool and they beat Epsilon, which was one of the top European qualifiers. So definitely felt that these guys were doing well on LAN at this event compared to the last event, I guess you can say. So we ended up mollywopping the floor with them and never respawned game. The only game that they ended up winning was Slum Search. They won that 6-5, I think, and it was really close as well. But yeah, it was a crazy game. We ended up taking them home, and after that we had to play. Fear ended up beating VVV. I'm not sure if that went to Game 5 or not, but we destroyed Fear as well. I believe we won 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, and then we played Farico in the winners finals. And most of you hopefully saw that game. That was one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of. To summarize it all, it really came down to the last round in Search and Destroy. It was 5-5, and I decided to play call a rush for my team. Probably the ballsiest play call I've ever made in my entire career. It was just. I was pretty much crazy at that point. They were pretty much winning every offensive round going to be playing slow, and it was kind of obvious they were going to do that again since it was working so well. So instead of playing it slow, I decided to call an all-out rush for my team, and this is a rush we've done before because whenever we played this game type at UMG or back in the day, we used to play this game type Aftermath, which was Aftermath Search, by the way. We ended up rushing B side whenever we knew they had score streaks, because when people have score streaks, they go on the outside part of the map to try and use those, obviously. So this is a rush that we did before, and it ended up working out. We got a 3v2 advantage off the break, off the rush, and we ended up closing it out and taking that home, and we were the first team to beat Farico this year. So that was a really good confidence boost for us, a really big game. It was an $80,000 round. That was, it was huge. So that was pretty much it for that day. After that, we spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours doing like interviews and videos and such for the Xbox dashboard. Some of you might have seen that. It was really interesting. It was a fun experience. And I pretty much relaxed the rest of the night, and then it came down to the last day, the final day. We watched Optic play Frico a bit. Frico was playing well against Optic, so we definitely knew we were gonna have to play our best to beat Frico. Frico started off with a really good rates. We played Reed CTF, which was our best game type at that event, or has been our best game type lately, and they got the first cap. Or no, we got the first cap and ended up tying up with like 2.5 left. We made like silly mistakes, and that really ended up costing us the game at that point. We played overtime. They got a cap about halfway through the first round or something like that. It was a really close battle. Regardless, every single map. I don't want to go through every map, but like every map ended up being really close except for Hijack Hardpoint, which was, I mean, I really hate that map, to be honest. I don't think any of us on our team really like that map. It's really just it's pretty much flipping a coin. Like at any point in time, there's not really a team that's going to dominate that map. We could have played that map like 100 times against Frico, and we could have beat him 50 times. They could have beat us 50 times. That map is just really about who wins their clutch gunfights when they need to win them. So, and they obviously have a really good shotgun play with Killa, who uses that thing on the regular. So, definitely ups to them on that map. Then we ended up winning Search. We lost CTF standoff, which is, again, we didn't lose CTS all weekend, but they play CTF so slow compared to other teams. Other teams kind of played aggressive, trying to make things happen like we do. So we beat them. We beat them at that type of play. But the way Frico played is really slow and methodical, which is really a good way of playing it. But they just played it so slow that at that point I really wasn't able to make plays for my team, which comes down to a lot of that in CTF for my team is I'll get the pulls and they'll get the cutoffs. So it wasn't really a play style we were used to at that point, which is something we're going to work on, obviously. But they played well on that, and they ended up winning both games ended by 1 flag. So really props to them on that. And then we had to play their best map, which was Raid Hardpoint. We ended up beating them on that, which was really a good confidence boost. Proof you dropped like 45, so it was really crazy. And then they came on the last map, which is Search and Destroy Meltdown. To be completely honest with you guys, I thought we outplayed them on that map. It really came down to 3 or 4 rounds. They won 3 or 4 of their 6 rounds were like clutches, pretty much. So it was really like a well-fought battle, I guess you can say. It came down on the wire, and they ended up winning those situational plays that could have went both ways. That's really what it comes down to when a round is a 1v1 or a clutch like that. It's like, example, the last round, like Killa ate a lot of bullets from Proofy foul, but it's just the way it is. Sometimes things don't go your way, sometimes things go your way. When Stainville shot him, Killa jumping out of a window when he planted a bomb in that one round, he hit him a bit, and then Killa just kept running away, made the right decision, turned around at the right time. It's those small decision, quick plays that really gave him the victory on that last map, which is why I think we were so heartbroken after that. I was so emotional after that loss because I just felt like we had it. I really felt like that was our game to win. I felt like we were outplaying them that match. Except for the CTFs, I think it's the only game type where I truly felt they were outplaying us by a lot, because they really gave us no room to move as far as CTF's concerned. They were playing really well. So, but props to them. Obviously, Frico definitely the best team in the game right now. I definitely put us at a close second with all the battles we had. I definitely feel like we're even teams. I think every match we're going to have this year against them is going to come down to the wire. I think it was super entertaining to play. It was a lot of fun to play for me. I'm guessing it was a lot of fun to watch as well. So that pretty much summarizes it for the games. We pretty much chilled out on Sunday night. Activision gave us the free open meal at the hotel, so I munched on some calamari and a nice steak, a little draw my sorrow and some food. But it was an awesome weekend. To say like the venue was awesome. I'm sure they showed you some shots of what the venue looked like, but it was really, really cool. Everything was ran perfectly, in my opinion. It was definitely the smoothest LAN I've ever been to. So I'm really excited for what's in store for next year. Apparently they're going to be running these every year, so I'm really excited, to be honest. I think the future for Call of Duty has never looked so good. For anyone that's want to compete or wants to start to compete or hasn't competed yet, this is definitely your time to start it right now, guys. This is going to be a crazy ride for anyone that gets on board. So I really hope every single one of you can get in my position someday and be able to play in those tournaments at the highest level. So that's pretty much for my summarized vlog of the Cod Championships. I'll be doing some more vlogs about the recent patch notes, which we just learned out today, and other things in general, maybe things we got to work on and such like that. I'll be doing these more regularly. I'll try and post on YouTube a lot more. Also gameplay videos and such whenever we get those. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this little jersey. This was the Call of Duty. By the way, this is the jersey they gave us. It has rainbow in the back. It doesn't have the team logo, but it has a Canadian flag, so I had to wear this today since I didn't get to wear it all weekend. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Peace.